Next on Worcester News tonight, a Webster woman is arraigned on charges of kidnapping her own son. Plus, vandals trash field houses at a Worcester field. Now ball teams are hoping to add in more security. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. A 40-year-old Webster woman charged with kidnapping faces a judge today. Police say she took her son to Florida almost 2 years ago and hadn't been heard from since. The boy was found safe last month. Our Rosalind Flaherty joins us now with the latest. Rosalind?
Olivia, prosecutors say the father had full custody of the child, and a tip led authorities to a home in Florida where she and the child were living. Christina Hale appears in Dudley District Court on charges she kidnapped her 5-year-old son, Matthew.
This arose in December 2016, where the father of the child was granted custody by a court in New York.
Prosecutors say the 40-year-old was served with a court order at her Webster home in 2016, asking her to turn over Matthew to New York authorities and giving the child's father sole legal custody. Matthew's father contacted Webster police in January of 2017 for help getting his then 3-year-old son from an Email Street apartment. Prosecutors say she allegedly packed up her stuff and moved out with the child on Christmas Eve and was unable to be located for nearly 2 years.
Until recently, when Webster police received information from the Missing and Exploited Children Center that they had received an anonymous tip.
The tip led authorities to an Orlando, Florida home where Hale was living with a family member. Her attorney says Hale thought she had custody of Matthew.
As far as she's aware, she had a 2016 order from the New York Probate Court granting her sole legal and physical custody of the minor child.
The child was found unharmed and was turned over to the Department of Children and Families to be reunited with his father. Now, she is held on $50,000 cash bail. The judge said if she is able to post bail, she is ordered to stay away from the child and wear a GPS tracker. Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Worcester police on scene of a stabbing Monday afternoon. Evidence markers could be seen on Lake Ave North next to a parked car pulled off the road. Police say the stabbing may have occurred in the same area. Detectives were taking pictures along with what appeared to be blood samples. It's unclear at this time whether or not the victim suffered serious injuries. Police are investigating break-ins at field houses at a city park. The fields are usually used for Little League teams, and now volunteers are upset someone would destroy a place used by kids. New locks on field houses at Vernon Park are meant to keep out vandals.
It's frustrating because this isn't the first time.
Steve Sargent is president of Eastside Babe Ruth Baseball. He says 3 houses were trashed over the weekend.
This is my 4th year as president. They've obviously damaged the door twice.
Inside is equipment, food, and the team's cash registers. Thankfully for the league, they are emptied every night.
I think they were just looking for change.
Worcester police say some type of tool was used to destroy the locks. Sargent says it appears the locks were the only thing the vandals got away with.
I just wanted to go in and see what if anything was taken, and nothing was taken. So it's kind of weird why they would just take locks.
He's hoping to work with city administration to add in more safety measures to the park.
Maybe put cameras up here or a garage door over that door. I mean, that would hopefully solve a lot of the issues.
And Sargent says other coaches have also expressed the need for cameras, and he hopes it's something that will happen in the near future. Worcester's newest ball team is asking for the public's help with its new name. The Pawtucket Red Sox are asking fans for name suggestions as they prepare to move to the city. For the next 3 weeks, people can submit suggestions at polarpark.com or place written names in ballot boxes set up around Worcester. The promotion runs through Monday, November 26th. Construction at the public market at Harding Green is moving quickly. The area of the Canal District Development was awarded a $400,000 state grant for streetscape improvements. The MassWorks funding will be used for pedestrian and streetscape infrastructure in an effort to enhance safety and add aesthetic improvements. The state says it will allow access to neighborhoods and commercial areas. The Harding Green development is set to include retail space, a public food market, and 48 market rate residential apartments. New information tonight on the abrupt closure of dozens of Papa Gino's and D'Angelo's restaurants, including some here in the Bay State. We now know the chain has filed for bankruptcy. So what does that mean for the employees who are suddenly out of a job? Mike Manzoni is in Newton with the latest.
After more than 5 decades of making pizza,
I'm just very surprised to hear this.
these notes left on dozens of Papa Gino's doors let people know that they had been shut down for good.
As a frequent customer, I'm pretty upset.
The pizza chain's parent company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy on Monday, saying it plans to sell the company's 141 restaurants.
It was a strange thing to wake up to this morning to read on the news.
The announcement came just hours after employees went to work over the weekend, only to find empty stores.
I just hate to hear of these places going out of business.
Bob Messina spent a lot of time at this Quincy Papa Gino's with his kids. His family didn't just eat pizza here, they made memories.
A lot of people brought their children there, and they gave them like little things to color with crayons and things. It was a good place for kids.
The 95 restaurants that shut down for not bringing in enough cash include an unknown number of Papa Gino's owned D'Angelo's sub shops. We found the doors locked and the lights out at this one in Brockton. The restaurant's parent company put out a statement saying, quote, the company regrets having to close these restaurants, but believes focusing resources on a core of best performing restaurants is the responsible approach.
I think it hurts that they're gone now.
Papa Gino's parent company says it plans to sell the restaurants to a private equity firm. As for the workers who are now out of a job, several Boston area pizza shops say they are interested in hiring them. We're in Newton tonight. Mike Manzoni, Worcester News Tonight.
And at least one of Worcester's Papa Gino's locations is among the dozens closing. According to the Telegram, the restaurant on Chandler Street is among the 95 considered underperforming. A sign on the door reads, "This location is now closed. Thank you for your patronage." Several other Central Mass stores have also closed. Well, it's been closed for years, but according to former employees, the Higgins Armory is not forgotten. Now, a permanent display at the Worcester Art Museum will allow people to visit it whenever they want. Our Brittany Schaefer joins us now with more. Brittany?
Olivia, the Arms and Armor display will feature 1,500 items from the Higgins Armory. The curator says it's important to preserve this history.
Here we have a selection of blade weapons.
5 years after Higgins Armory closed, the Worcester Art Museum is giving their display a permanent home.
We miss it, everybody misses it, but it's something that we can continue here.
Neil Borbo and Jeffrey Forgang both worked at Higgins Armory. Borbo says the Worcester landmark is far from forgotten.
We would get amazing thank yous from the public.
What really excited me about the Higgins more than anything was the excitement that I saw in the visitors. You would go through the galleries and you would listen to the hubbub, the excitement, the energy.
The soon-to-be permanent display at WAM will showcase the second largest collection of its kind in the nation. Forgang says it's important to be able to preserve these historic pieces.
We really are keeping the spirit alive, and I think it's made a big difference to the Worcester Art Museum. If you look at, say, the medieval gallery that we're in right now and compare it to what the galleries were like a generation ago, it's a huge development, and it's very much informed.
The permanent exhibit will feature 1,500 items, interactive displays, and open storage.
Everybody wants to go behind the scenes at a museum, and it's kind of what they will be able to do once we implement this open storage system for the entire Higgins collection.
Forgang says they are now in the planning and fundraising stages. The permanent exhibit should be completed by the year 2023. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.